Hello, and welcome to another critical conversation. This critical conversation is dealing with the impact of COVID-19 on education. I am Wanda L. Scott. I'm an educator, and I love all things with education and history and what's going on in the world. Today, I have with me my co-host, Deanne Marie.
Hello, everybody. As Wanda said, I'm Deanne Marie, and I am a principal here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm excited to be along the journey to speak with different educators across the world. I'm always excited about learning more and hearing about everyone's journey during this global pandemic.
And we are excited to interview today the lovely Tiffany Frierson. Tiffany, can you tell us about yourself?
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Tiffany Frierson. As she's already mentioned, I am an educator. I have been educating for 16 years, now 17 because we're in a new year. Woo! Happy New Year. I am a mother of two wonderful children. One is in high school, one is in middle school, and I have a wonderful husband. Also, let me mention, I am a fourth grade teacher. That's very important. So this is my second year teaching fourth grade. And it's also a very interesting year, as you can imagine.
Thank you for that. And so that means you have an interesting perspective, being a teacher, being a mother, balancing all of this going on with COVID and stay at home. So Tiffany, just tell me your experience in 2020, once all this happened. How have you managed and balanced being a teacher and a mother with young kids?
I must say it is truly, truly a balancing act. And I am still to this day learning how to be most effective. Every single time, every single semester, every single week, every single day, I am finding a different strategy of how to manage them both. In regards to the classroom, my goodness, what a change. What a change. It made me feel like I was a first year teacher all over again. And I could not believe it. I thought I was more prepared being a first year teacher in person versus first year teacher virtual. I mean, telling you, this is being able to connect with students who have different levels of income, different levels of accessibility to technology, different levels of learning skills. What a challenge to be able to lead and guide them and get them equipped and prepared for the next grade level. I tell you, this challenge of being a teacher has been a lot. Trying to figure out how to be able to connect with my students and their parents virtually, not being able to have access to them, not being able to have in-class room meetings, not being able to pull them aside a little bit to give them a hug when they're down or to get them refocused when they need to be refocused. Assignments, what another beast to deal with. Getting them to participate and learn so that I can judge, do they know it? Do they not know it? You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, being a mother, being a teacher that's going through this virtual process and a mother is very trying as well, because I am attempting to get my children, my own personal children, my biological children to be successful while still maintaining my classroom of 15. Okay. Now that's challenging to me because there are some things that my own personal children are dealing with this transition into virtual. And they need a little bit more loving. They need mama there holding their hand sometimes to be able to work the technology, to be able to answer the questions, to be able to figure out how to turn in work. Do I take a picture? Do I download? Do I upload? How do I write it down? So, listen, I think that a lot of things have come up, but we are making it. We are pressing it. We are trying to make progress in it, and we are learning. Yes, it took a whole semester, half a year to get to even a better place. But we're now, like, even my daughter this morning walked in, she said, Mom, I can do better. I can do better. I just couldn't get adjusted to the whole, internet. Her ninth grade year, it's all virtual. So you can imagine. My son, it's his fifth grade year. It's all virtual. They're both were making big transitions. So it has been very trying, but we're learning, how to be successful. And it takes a lot, and it takes a whole community.
So Tiffany, what are some things that you have done to, being a principal? I know it's really important for me to tell my family, my teachers, that they have to connect with their families. What are some things that you have done to connect with your students, either on an individual level or as a whole group, to make sure that they're continuing to build relationships during this time?
So I don't know if you can tell, I have a big personality already. So basically when they log in, I try to be big. Wow, welcome, So I allow my, first of all, my personality. I try to make it fun and entertaining. I do in the classroom different competitions, different competitions between the students, and then they get rewards. I might mail them a card. I might mail them a gift card. They get the in-class bonus points and things of that nature to get them to come. First of all, the attendance. I'm trying to motivate them to come and be in attendance. Now, when it comes to really individualizing the instruction, that's when I use my office hours. I do my one-on-ones. I call the parents. Like this year is the first year that I've given every parent my real number. I have to say that I don't do that. It was just like a barrier that I had as a teacher. But now they know my number. They'll call me. They'll text me. I could be watching TV and they'd be up here, hey, how you doing? So it just let them know that I'm accessible. Of course there's boundaries, but to one, let them know I'm accessible. Two, be able to meet their needs. If a parent's calling in and they want to have time with me, I have time for them. I make sure I'm using my office hours. I make sure that if I see a student that was struggling in class, like literally, like before this call, literally, I was on call and parent, hey, I didn't see so-and-so. How are things going? What you need? Okay, you got your computer. Okay, we good. Okay, did you know? Oh, and then they'll tell me, and so, and I'm down to earth. And so I just try to make it where I'm relatable and that they know that me too, I'm a parent. And that means a lot. When I have you got a teacher as a parent calling the parent and I can understand and see what they're going through, I can relate to that. And as a parent and as a teacher, a parent being a teacher, my students know I'm like almost like a mama bear. You know what I mean? So when I say, come on, I need to see you at 12 o'clock in my inbox or in my Zoom call, I need to do one-on-one. Where's your work? Show me. All right, let's walk through this problem. So I make it as personal as possible. And I try to make time as much as needed to meet their needs and make it as fun as possible as well. If that answered your question.
It did. Thank you.
I think that is, and I do. I know you, and I love your personality, and I'm sure that it is an attraction for your students. But talk to me a little bit about, good or bad, how has this impacted your children? I heard you say that they're both at pivotal grades, 5th grade, 9th grade. That means they would have been at a new school. So tell me what some of the challenges have been with you. You're online teaching your students, and then your child needs some help. Tell me what that's been like.
Okay, so the first thing, I'll tell you the online teaching, and then I'll tell you about the personal impact first. So me as a teacher being online teaching, there are moments when I have my wonderful son who's very energetic, just like me, bless his heart. And so he comes in and I'm teaching. He's like, Mama! I'm like, I'm immediately muting, cut. You should just see me sometime. And I'm recording too. So I'm like, what? I'm embarrassed. I'm frozen and I'm just like, and so at that times too, a lot of times, and I kind of talk to my kids and they know I have kids and I'm like, hey, you guys continue to work. I might push them on to do a little activity, or I'll immediately pace an activity for them to do a word problem or something to write. And then I might quickly step away to check on them, my son at times, because he's the one who needs the most additional assistance during class time, because his class time is happening during my class time. And he needs, sometimes he can't get to one thing or another. So, I had to, manage that, but as time has progressed, he's really learned to manage. And then we do whiteboards in our house. Sometimes they'll come up on me and they have a whiteboard and I'm reading a sign while I'm teaching. And I'm like giving some type of signal, no, go, or do this. So we'll do that. As for me as a mother outside of the teaching, it's been challenged because the first semester, my kids, neither one were doing well at all. My daughter, who's straight A's and a couple of B type of student, she wasn't near that. She was not. And it really took me for a wind. it took me for a win, coming from Meigs to Hume Fogg, and then having to be a school that's almost like a mini college, and it's virtual now. And she was expecting to be around, students expect to be in basketball. Softball was beginning to happen right now. Cello, and had all these things that they're expecting her to do virtual, especially with her cello. She kind of like let it go. She lost the love for it. She wasn't excited about playing anymore. Even with studying, I would go in there, try to motivate her to participate in class, and she'll wake up and you can see the demeanor and the camera would be off. And then I would ask her about assignments. She'd be like, I don't know. But then when the teacher emails, she'd be like, oh, that, yes. And it's just like they went into a space. And my son, on the other hand, brand new. So he was nowhere near where he needed to be. He was at the bottom, no lie. I had to get a tutor for him. I had a virtual tutor and a trusted in-person tutor. And literally my in-person tutor is just takes me for him, literally. So I had to use my resources of who I know to help me. And I had to be mindful that some of my students don't have those resources, so it's a ball plan. It's just like taking everything one day, one moment at a time. Me trying to figure out how to motivate my children, how to encourage them to be who they are, no matter what's happening. You know what I mean? How to endure change. How to learn when they don't want to learn, how to press beyond their feelings and their emotions. And that's something I'm enduring, they're enduring, just to get back to normality. And I constantly reassure them that there's nothing normal. There is not a normality. The only thing that we have consistent is ourselves and who we are and our beliefs and what we should do, because things are consistently and will forever be changing. And so I try as myself to endure while teaching them to endure as well, and teaching them to be motivated and to find something within them that gives them an inspiration to go forth and to continue to learn and be the best them no matter what's going on around them. Like, to keep your eye on the prize, baby. We don't know what tomorrow looks like, but I want you to give your best at all times. So hopefully that helped you there, answer the question.
Yeah, I love that, Tiffany. I mean, your spirit, but my heart goes out to Yasmin, and I hope she kind of recovers.
She's been recovered. They both have.
They
Especially
both
my son. Honey, my son loves math. He brought it to a 99. So he's
Yeah.
he's on the way back. He loves math. Like, don't come for him when it comes to math. It's just I need to help him when it comes to the writing.
I know that we'll be coming to the end of our interview soon, but I did want to get a perspective on one thing that I know that we even talked with the last person that we interviewed, and that is about scheduling. How important has that been? And, as far as, most parents do routines and, take your bath at this time and go to bed, and this is going to be your set virtual spot for doing work. Has that worked? Have you done that any, or have you been more lax now the longer that this has gone on? What's your take on rules and scheduling and things for your children?
Priority. They have become a more priority. Now, I will say, have I been constantly consistent? No. There are times I'm like, I need a break, and it's still running. I was like, oh no, get back on it. A schedule is very important. And literally today, I was just talking to another parent because she has, quite a few students, they're in my classroom, and she was like, I've got to figure out how to do this. And I was offering her my time with her to, let's make a schedule. What can I do to help you, with chores, keeping the house clean, how to designate school time from home time where they can just relax. Bedtime is a priority. A lot of times with technology, it's like technology is almost taking over. Kids want to be in it. That's all they have. That's their friend. That's their playmate. If they don't have a lot of siblings in the house, and even with mine, I have a 5th grader and a 9th grader. I mean, they cool, but listen, stay in your own lane is what they are right now. And so they're trying to figure out, and their identity, who they are, as well as through technology. They use that to figure out what's going on and how to connect with their friends. Like my daughter, I have to be managing her time, but actually both. But my daughter, she does a lot of Zoom and FaceTime with her friends. And so they're always on the screen and doing stuff and whatever. But yes, schedule is important. At nighttime, when it's bedtime, I still have is take a shower. especially with my son. You know, I don't know something different about the boys. You know, make sure they're going and taking their baths. Make sure they're, you know, loving themselves and taking care of themselves, keeping their room clean, making sure they have a space in their room where they're working. You know what I'm saying? And like we had to go and buy desks today, you know, not today, this year, where they had a certain area in the room so that they could work. And I know that they're working. And so that my son would think the bed was his shrine, and that under the cover, looking at the screen, trying to be on it. No, uncover yourself, stand up, go wipe your face, brush your teeth, get in front of the camera, let them know you're there. I want the screen on. I want the teacher to see your face. Okay, because it's going to hold you accountable. That's his accountability. That's her accountability. And just me being a parent, it's just, they've got to get some sleep. And I just got to be true to that. And there's got to be times too that we've, you know, like even my husband and I, we're still working to learn how to pull them from the internet, you know, because it's our free time too. Because like I done been on the internet all day, I'm tired. And then they come, you know, y'all go play that game. Did you just, so it's a balancing act. You know, hopefully the more I'm in it, the better I get with it. The more I'm able to cut it off and, you know, make them play the board games again versus the technology, and making sure that we're doing our personal devotion. You know, that's a whole nother, you know, ball game. Talk about the devotion, but just making sure that there is some type of normality in our home, you know. And I think too, this time is where we're really building the culture of family. I know there are a lot of times too, like for example, I'm probably off with it, but it was just something that I have been thinking about. You know how you always wanted a family who was close knit. This is the time to give those criteria or those expectations or those values right now, and talk about them with them. You know, and guide them and get them to where they need to be. So those things to be scheduled, those things to be had with family are imperative. You know, so yes. I do believe scheduling is important. Yes, I believe we should set time aside for family as well as sleep, as well as no technology time. And it has gotten better and more necessary than it was prior to, I would say the least.
Yeah, thank you so much for that answer. And as we're closing, quickly tell us one thing that you learned in 2020 that you're definitely bringing into 2021. What is that one thing that's really important to be in place in 2021?
Wow, 2020 opened my eyes to a lot. To thy own self be true. I will stay with that one. Learning how to be who you are and loving who you are, and being able to manage. To your own self be true. Learn when you need a break, learning when you need love, learning when you can't handle things, learning when you can't handle things, learning when you need to stop and rest, learning when it's too much and you can say it's too much, learning when to cry, learning when to rejoice. To thy own self be true is what I'm learning.
Thank you so much for that, Tiffany. Thank you, Deanne, once again for jumping in with some very timely questions for our interviewees. I so value the moments that you're sharing with us, Tiffany. I know you're in the middle of school and your children, so thank you for that. And I also want to say thank you to all of you who have joined another critical conversation. Thank you for wanting to explore with us how COVID is impacting education. Please leave your comments on this video. Please make sure that you like it and tell other people about critical conversations.